Chapter 167 Looking for a Controller. Holy Demon Continent, Heavenly Demon Court. In that extremely splendid imperial palace, nearly 10,000 people from the demon court stood quietly like sculptures, in complete silence, waiting for the demon emperor to speak. However, at this moment, Feng Qunju's calm voice suddenly sounded in the hall like a yellow bell. It has been several months since this emperor returned from reincarnation, and the reason why he has not appeared. I want to see if the demon court is still the Hongmeng demon god who used to block the gods of killing and Buddhas to block the destroyers. Fortunately, you have not disappointed this emperor. Although there have been individual rebellions, the demon court is still in charge of the entire holy demon continent. The emergence of some alien species is inevitable. After this, I hope you can understand. You must not regard this emperor's regard for you as capital that can be exceeded at will. Whether it was the heroes who fought with the emperor on the mainland, or the people who later joined the holy demon continent. Whenever you touch this emperor's bottom line, you must be prepared to have the 9 tribes destroyed. Of course, as my son said, where there is punishment there must be reward, and you should be rewarded for your merits in maintaining the demon court. When Feng Qunju talked about his son, the originally cold and ruthless expression on his face suddenly became gentle like the spring breeze blowing on his face. The nearly 10,000 people in the core of the demon court below heard that the emperor had an heir, and they all looked at each other and were ecstatic. Lord, Emperor, do you really have an heir? Helian Wushang was the first to step forward. He was so happy that he almost called out the word master in front of everyone. You must know that the person who can call Feng Qunju his master must be someone he absolutely trusts. The reason why Helian Wushang changed his mind was because in this meeting hall, there was only distinction between monarch and minister. Feng Qunju did not respond to Helian Wushang's words, he only waved his sleeves slightly. Buzz. At that moment, 3 people appeared out of thin air next to the throne, none other than Zhang Yongzi, Feng Haoran, and Feng Qingguo. Feng Qunju stood up suddenly, walked between Zhang Yongzi and Feng Haoran, and said loudly. Zhang Yongzi is the wife of this emperor, and will be the queen of the demon court in the future. Feng Haoran is the son of this emperor, and he will be the emperor monarch of the demon court. And she, Feng Qingguo, is my son's fiancée. After saying this, Helian Wushang was so excited that he shouted loudly. I have seen the Queen of Heaven, the Emperor Monarch, and the Qingguo girl. We have met the Queen of Heaven, the Emperor Monarch, and the Qingguo girl. Nearly 10,000 people knelt on their knees and saluted Feng Haoran, mother and son, and Feng Qingguo. At Feng Qunju's signal, Zhang Yongzi raised her hand and spoke softly. Ping Shen. This move of hers fully demonstrated the demeanor of a mother who cares about the world. In an instant, everyone below shouted in unison. Thank you, Queen. Feng Haoran looked at the scene in front of him and felt as if he was in a palace drama. He and Feng Qingguo looked at each other and smiled. At this time, Feng Qunju's voice sounded again. The emperor just said that those who have meritorious deeds should be rewarded, and those who have made mistakes should be punished. Since you have meritorious service, you should naturally be rewarded. Buzz. Feng Qunju flipped his palm, and tens of thousands of drops of void spiritual milk appeared in his hand. When everyone saw this, they were all shocked and pale. What? It's actually void spiritual milk. Seeing everyone's reaction, Feng Qunju smiled slightly. This is not a reward from this emperor. These many void spiritual milks were given by your emperor monarch. Ah! As soon as these words came out, everyone couldn't help but scream. When Feng Haoran saw this, he thought to himself. Isn't it just 10,000 drops of void spiritual milk? Why is there such a fuss? The spiritual milk in Feng Qunju's hand was actually a gift from Feng Haoran the night before. However, when he rewarded his subordinates, he also revealed the source of the spiritual milk. Feng Haoran naturally understood in his heart that his father obviously wanted to establish his prestige by doing this. Whoosh! Feng Yunjia waved his arm lightly, and thousands of drops of spiritual milk floated like stars in front of everyone in the hall. He stared at the void spiritual breast filled with Hongmeng energy in front of him, and held it in his hands with excitement. "Thank you, His Highness Emperor Monarch. You're welcome. As long as you serve the demon court loyally and support my father, if you have meritorious service in the future, I will reward you with spiritual milk." Feng Haoran's casual words made nearly 10,000 people in the hall stunned. They couldn't help but secretly wonder, this Emperor Monarch, could he have taken all the spiritual milk river in Hongmeng for himself? Then they began to express their loyalty in stammering words. We must wholeheartedly safeguard the demon court and support the Emperor until death. Emperor, now that we know that it is the ancient clan of the Tianxi continent who instigated the rebellion, I sincerely request you to lead tens of millions of legions to destroy the ancient clan. Just when everyone straightened up, the strange demon stood up without hesitation and asked for orders to attack the ancient clan for revenge. Because this is his deepest hatred. Back then, it was the ancient clan that made him bear the reputation of rebellion, and he longed to avenge his shame. Regarding the annihilation of the ancient clan, everyone present had their own ideas, but after understanding the thoughts of the Yumo Emperor, they did not compete with him. However, Feng Yunjia waved his hand and said, "There is no need to worry about this matter. Now that I have returned, it is time to meet those controllers who think highly of themselves. I want them to understand that once something is done, the price is not something they can afford." When Feng Yunjia finished speaking, his eyes were as sharp as knives, and his face was so gloomy that it seemed like water could drip from his eyes. Chapter 168, Rectifying the Demon Court, Three Great Demon Lords. In the Holy Demon Continent, in the extremely glorious Demon Emperor's palace, nearly 10,000 demon race subordinates heard that their emperor was going to the depths of Hongmeng to settle accounts with the controller. Some of them had their eyes shining and their blood boiling, while others were extremely shocked. That's the one in control. The emperor has just returned and has the strength to compete with him. How can he not be shocked and excited? With such a powerful emperor, they will definitely be fearless and move forward courageously from now on. When the strange demon saw that the emperor refused to let him send troops, and now Yan Lang was dead, he suddenly felt that he had nothing to do, but his eyes fell on Feng Haoran. "Emperor, since you don't allow your subordinates to send troops to the ancient clan, then, how about I accompany His Highness to go out for training, and by the way give guidance on His Highness's cultivation?" "Emperor, my subordinates feel that the strange demon has a violent nature and is not suitable for giving guidance to His Highness, let alone going out for training. If he is by your side, there will definitely be more troubles." As soon as Yi Mo finished speaking, Helian Wushang jumped out instantly, which made the former furious. However, before he could speak, Yang, Jiangxin, Kong Gaiyu, and the only female among the demon emperors, Yan Jun, stood up. "Emperor, I feel that the strange demon is really not suitable to accompany His Highness. To accompany His Highness, I, Ying, am the most suitable." "Fart, Ying, do you want to face me? I am the most suitable emperor." "Emperor, Jian Xin is willing to accompany His Highness to wield the Hongmeng sword." "Hey Kenshin, normally you are just a boring gourd, putting on a cold face every day. Why, now that the Emperor has brought His Highness back, you are so enthusiastic?" "Emperor Lord, my subordinates feel that none of them are suitable. I, Yan Jun, have experience in taking care of people. Although my subordinates are not as strong as the Wushang Demon Emperor, but their cultivation is among them, I am still the highest." "Yan Jun, you are looking for death. Do you have the ability to go out and practice with me?" When Yi Mo saw that all the demon emperors were coming out to compete with him for His Highness, and seeing that he had no advantage, he immediately wanted to have a spar with Yan Jun. But the latter was not afraid at all and shouted sharply, "Just go, I'm afraid you won't succeed." This scene shocked the nearly 10,000 demon race ministers present. They were thinking in their hearts, is this still the demon king they respect? As for the person involved, Feng Haoran, when he saw several people fighting for each other and wanted to follow him, he didn't even ask if he was willing. Now that it's all right, the two are eager to compete. Just when Yi Mo and Yan Jun ignored everyone's gaze and wanted to go out to practice, Feng Yunju's voice came. That's enough. This voice was like a bell, and it was so frightening that everyone present did not dare to move. Even the several demon emperors who had argued before felt the emperor's anger and hurriedly stood back to their positions. Feng Yunju glanced at them and spoke again. As a demon king, what kind of behavior would it be for everyone to make noise in the main hall? Emperor Monarch does need an ancient demon to follow him when he goes out, but not now. His current cultivation level is Hongmeng Venerable Realm. How can he go out with this little cultivation level? After he reaches the realm of Hongmeng Taoist or Dao Monarch, he can go out to practice. As for who he will choose, it is up to him. No. After everyone responded in unison, Feng Yunju spoke again. From today on, the demon court will establish 5 demon venerable positions, whose authority is above that of the demon emperor, and who will patrol the entire demon court on behalf of the emperor. The number of demon emperors increased to 9. The original 8 great demon emperors served in guarding the demon court and were promoted to demon emperors. Note: Feng Yunju's Heavenly Demon Emperor is his previous title, not the title of Demon Court. As for the vacant Demon Emperor position, anyone who has reached Hongmeng Demon level can participate. The strongest person will be able to take the role, but they must pass the Emperor's test. The number of Demon Emperors has been increased from 9 to 18, and one person can command tens of millions of demon armies. The vacancies for demon emperors will be formed by the 9 great demon emperors themselves. To run for the position of demon emperor, one must reach the Hongmeng demon ancestor realm. The 18 strongest people are the demon emperor. As for the positions below the demon king, they will be arranged by the demon emperor and demon emperor themselves. As for the 5 great demon lords, Lin Wuhen, Mo Shangxiu, and Ren Tianxing will be qualified first. Buzz. Just when Feng Yunju called out 3 names, 3 figures with magic wheels hanging on their backs suddenly appeared in the void of the hall. They were the 5 great demon emperors in Feng Yunju's previous life. Due to the riots in his previous life, 2 of them died, but now there are only 3 left. Lin Wuhen, a demon venerable from the holy sect of 10,000 demons in chaos, was too seriously injured, and on his way to find Feng Yunju, he stayed in the chaotic space to heal his injuries. As for Ren Tianxing and Mo Shangxiu, they were also injured in that battle and have been recovering in seclusion in the demon court. They won't show up until the demon court's life and death is at stake. After Feng Yunju returned, he restored them. The cultivation of the 3 of them has already reached the Hongmeng demon 7th layer realm. As for Helian Wushang and others, although they have now reached the level of ancient demon, they are only at the level of 4th layer. The emperor's master, Feng Yunju, had reached the perfection of the ancient demon in his previous life, and his powerful strength was unrivaled among the ancient demons. Even if he is the controller, there is nothing he can do. If it were not for the fact that the controller of the ancient demon, ancient ancestor, is not within the Hongmeng rules, it would not be difficult to kill them by leapfrogging them. However, the soul of the controller is fused with the mainland, and the soul is immortal, but they will not die. However, that is all in the past. How strong he is now will not be known until he has fought. After the 3 people appeared, Feng Yunju looked at the 8 great demon emperors. Oh, no, they should be called demon emperors now, and said. As for the remaining 2 demon venerable positions, they will be generated from among you. Whoever can advance to the ancient demon 7th layer first will be the demon venerable. As soon as this statement came out, the whole place was in an uproar. Originally, becoming the demon emperor was already more difficult than ascending to heaven. Now there is another demon venerable position, and the power is still higher than that of the demon emperor. Helian Wushang and other great demon emperors were secretly delighted, especially the 2 or 3 people who had reached the 4th layer of the ancient demon. As for why the emperor set it up like this, they all knew it very well. It was just to let the many powerful people in the demon court practice hard. If you want a higher position, then strive for it on your own and don't use your mind on crooked ways. We must work hard to practice and guard the demon court for the emperor. Feng Yunzhou looked at the responses from everyone below, nodded with satisfaction, and then shouted to the void. Tiankui! Buzz! Following a low buzzing sound, a figure appeared next to Feng Yunzhou's throne. This person was Tian Kui. Take Emperor Monarch and the others to the Tower of 10,000 Demons to practice. No one is allowed to come near until I return. After Tian Kui appeared, Feng Yunzhou gave him instructions, and the former replied in response. No. Chapter 169, 3000 Years of War. Deep in Hongmeng, it is like a vast starry sky, mysterious and profound. However, in this strange place, the rare innate Hongmeng purple chi lingers like stars, and the supreme origin and rules fill the entire void like mist. In a distant place, a simple and majestic ancient palace is like a bright pearl suspended in the stars. At this time, in the ancient palace, an old man sitting on a futon seemed to feel something and suddenly opened his eyes. Just when he was doubtful, a sound like a long bell came, echoing in the ancient palace like thunder. Ancient world-honored one, I am here in person, why don't you show up and see me? This voice seemed to transmigrate the entire Hongmeng and lingered in the ancient palace for a long time. Buzz! The old man's figure disappeared in the ancient palace in an instant. When he reappeared, he was already in the grand mist like the starry sky. When he saw clearly who the visitor was, the old man frowned slightly and thought to himself, why is he here? Then, a sneer appeared on his face. Haha, it turns out to be Emperor Zhu Heavenly Demon. Congratulations, you can reincarnate successfully. I thought you had died. After all, there has been no news about you for hundreds of millions of years. I really want to thank you for caring about me, you old man. But don't worry, I won't die even if you die. The visitor was none other than Feng Yunzhou. After he put the demon court in order, he came to the depths of Hongmeng. This place has exceeded the spatial scope of Hongmeng's evolution and belongs to the outer void of Hongmeng. There are dangers everywhere here, not only the powerful Hongmeng beasts appear, but even the seemingly ordinary and wanton winds are not something ordinary creatures can withstand. As for the controllers of the 9 continents, because they have broken through the restrictions of Hongmeng rules, if they stay in the continent for a long time, not only will their cultivation level be unable to improve, but they may even fall into the realm of controllers. Therefore, their habitat is in the void outside Hongmeng, which can also be called the depth of Hongmeng. Here, they can not only preserve their own cultivation, but can even vaguely understand the mystery of the Taishi realm. But in this realm of Taishi, even if they spend countless years, they still cannot truly understand its sect, and even if their strength increases, it will be minimal. The ancient world-honored one, the founder of the ancient clan in the heavenly continent, the title and the controller of the world-honored one, is the old man who appeared from the ancient hall before. When he heard Feng Yunzhou's words, he didn't get angry, but showed a helpless expression. Hey, this controller has lived for countless years. I really want to transform into a Taoist, but no one can meet this request. Oh really? Then I will help you. When Feng Yunzhou spoke, his eyelids were slightly raised, and his sharp eyes were like sharp swords, staring at the ancient world honor. The aura on his body continued to surge like a volcano erupting, and the already raging wind became even more violent now. Woohoo! Whoosh! In the blink of an eye, Feng Yunzhou's figure disappeared. When he appeared again, he was already in front of the ancient world-honored one. He raised his hand that was filled with the power of the supreme demon and waved it towards the ancient world-honored one like a mountain pressing down on an egg. Buzz! When the ancient world-honored master saw it coming, he had a calm smile on his face and slowly raised his palm to greet it like an expert from outside the world. Boom! The two men's tentative attacks collided with each other. The power was earth-shattering, and the surging power actually cut off the endless wind. Feng Yunju's figure suddenly flashed, and from front to back, a 10,000-foot shadow appeared like lightning. I saw the phantom swinging its giant palm like a millstone and slapping the ancient world-honored one's heavenly spirit cap. Woohoo! Wherever the giant palm passed, it squeezed the air layer, making bursts of harsh whirring sounds. The ancient world-honored master turned his palm into a finger and rushed forward like a sharp arrow. The divine light on his fingertips flashed and collided with the giant palm. Boom! The two went from probing to tit-for-tat, and then gradually used their full strength. The attacks are getting faster and faster, visible to the naked eye, so fast that even the mind cannot catch it. In the depths of Hongmeng, only blood-white lights can be seen constantly colliding like meteors, and terrifying collision sounds are constantly coming from the void like thunder. Bang bang! The grey Hongmeng void is like an ancient picture scroll, showing brilliant and colorful bursts of divine light from time to time, like blooming fireworks, and like the twinkling stars in the night sky. The two have been fighting fiercely for a long time, and time has passed, maybe 1,000 years, or maybe 10,000 years. The two sides were in a stalemate. Feng Yunju's eyes turned cold, and the magic power in his body surged like a raging tide. He shouted loudly, "Drink!" Buzz! His body exuded a heaven-destroying aura, an array of magic light shone on him from the gloomy Hongmeng void. When the ancient world-honored master saw this, his expression changed slightly, and he felt that the other party's aura was rising sharply again. He was so shocked that he never expected that Feng Yunju had been fighting with him for so long, and yet he still hadn't used all his strength. His previous calm and composed expression had long since disappeared without a trace, and now he became extremely frightened. Because the power emanating from Feng Yunju's body was like the heavenly demon who created the world, and it actually made him smell the breath of death. This is a feeling I have never had since being promoted to controller. Buzz! Under the endless magic light, Feng Yunju's eyes were scarlet, and an ancient magic pattern appeared between his eyebrows. He stared at the ancient world-honored one, and his sharp eyes were like the seductive eyes of the 9 nether hells, which made people shudder. Then, the corners of his mouth raised slightly and he let out a sneer. Ha! Actually, death is not difficult for you controllers. Whoosh! Before he finished speaking, Feng Yunju took a step forward, and his figure flew away like lightning. He was exuding a world-destroying demonic light and drew a brilliant arc in the grey void. The ancient world-honored one felt the aura of terror from afar, but he did not flinch. He formed seals with his hands and muttered words. In an instant, countless mysterious runes emerged, dancing gracefully like a group of agile butterflies, condensing into a huge light shield. Buzz! Just when his light shield was condensed, Feng Yunju's attack came like thunder. Boom! The shock wave generated by the collision of the two swept around, and the space seemed to be torn apart. Click! However, at this time, the light shield of the ancient world master gradually shattered, and Feng Yunju's attack came like a mountain crushing an egg. Ah! How is that possible? If you're enjoying this content, please make sure to like and subscribe Chinese Novel Audiowave. Chapter 170 Destroy the physical body of the controller. Ah, how is that possible? The ancient world-honored one could not believe what was happening in front of him. The attack was like a death scythe and was about to cut into his body. A trace of determination flashed in his eyes, and he displayed a divine ability at the expense of his own essence and blood. Buzz buzz! A dazzling light suddenly erupted, like the scorching sun in the sky, intertwined with Feng Yunju's attack. Boom! Suddenly, a sound that seemed to be able to destroy the world surged in the Hongmeng void. The bursting light of God Fiend was as brilliant as fireworks, reflecting the entire grey and dark void. And this shocking blow was like a magnet, attracting the other 8 controllers. Whoosh! Just when the 8 of them landed, the heaven-defying destructive power exerted by Feng Qianzhu was like a raging wave, directly submerging the ancient world-honored one. Buzz! Ah! The ancient world-honored one roared, and the sound resounded through the void. His body was instantly annihilated by the power of destruction, turning into stars and dissipating. When the 8 masters saw this scene, they were stunned and in disbelief. Who is the ancient world-honored one? He is the controller, and now his body has been destroyed by the heavenly demon emperor of Hongmeng demon perfection. Although he was not actually killed, being able to destroy his body in this instant shows how terrifying his power is. Buzz! Before a few people could say anything, the ancient world-honored one who had just been destroyed appeared in the void again with a face as pale as paper. He kept breathing heavily, his chest heaving up and down, his pupils widening like a frightened beast, looking at Feng Qianzhu in disbelief. He kept screaming in his heart, how could he have such a powerful power? He could actually destroy the body of a controller like me. On the other hand, Feng Qianzhu stood calmly, standing in the void with his hands behind his back, a magic wheel hanging on his back, and his black imperial robe with magic patterns was blown by the strong wind. He was already handsome, and with the magic lines between his eyebrows, he became even more enchanting. His scarlet eyes were as sharp as poisonous snakes, scanning the 9 people, causing cold sweat to break out on the backs of the 9 controllers. Then, his eyes stayed on the ancient world-honored one, and a sneer appeared at the corner of his mouth. Hey, how does it feel to die? The ancient world-honored master looked extremely ugly at this time, but he still said with an unconvinced expression. Hey! Isn't this controller doing a good job here? Oh really? Don't think that if your soul is fused in the heavenly continent, I can't really kill you. Today I just want to teach you a lesson. If you still want to take the position of the controller of the holy demon continent, I don't mind destroying the entire heavenly world continent. How dare you? As the controller, the ancient world-honored one was threatened by an ancient demon and became furious instantly. But is Feng Qianzhu afraid? It's obviously impossible. If you don't believe it, you can try it. Since other controllers are there, if the ancient world-honored one really fights to the death with Feng Qianzhu, the advantage will be taken by others, so he can only endure it. However, at this time, the other 8 controllers came out of the air with smiles on their faces. Haha! Congratulations to fellow deist for completing the journey of reincarnation. Your magnanimity really makes us ashamed. You are high-ranking controllers, worthy of me as fellow deists. I'm afraid you are a bit self-deprecating, right? Although Feng Qianzhu said so, his proud figure and disdainful tone meant that he did not take them seriously. Haha! Fellow deist is joking. With your strength, you have already reached the level of a controller. If I am not wrong, you must have suppressed the cultivation level of the promoted controller. The person speaking at this time is the most powerful of the 9 controllers in the first continent, Wuxia controller. He was wearing a silver gold-edged Taoist robe, and his seemingly peaceful face concealed many bad thoughts. However, he was a little surprised that Feng Qianzhu could see through it to this extent. As expected of the first person to be promoted to the rank of controller, Wushu, since you already know it, I won't make any detours. Hundreds of millions of years ago, those who had done something to this emperor's demonic court, within 3 months, each presented a high-grade Hongmeng innate treasure to the demonic court to apologize for their sins. If I don't receive it after 3 months, I don't mind going to the respective continents to collect it in person. Don't doubt the authenticity of this emperor's words, or you can join forces to kill me. If it really comes to that situation, I don't know who it is, and I will go through reincarnation again with this emperor. Feng Qianzhu's naked threat actually made them look at each other, unable to refute. To them, Feng Qianzhu was just the ancestral realm of Hongmeng, while they and others were the masters that countless people dreamed of controlling. If they really die together, then the gains and losses for themselves and others will outweigh the losses. However, among these 9 people, there are still a few who did not participate. Seeing that the top mainland controllers were defeated, they couldn't help but laugh secretly in their hearts. Seeing that no one had the intention to speak, Feng Yunzhu also knew that they wanted to save face. And he has done what he should do, and he has asked for what he should want. 3,000 years of fighting, for giants like them, is undoubtedly the time to take a nap. But he was different. His son and wife were still waiting, so he didn't stop. Having said that, I will leave first. I don't have so much time to spend with you. After saying that, Feng Yunzhu was about to leave. Suddenly, he seemed to have thought of something and turned around to look at them again. Oh! By the way, my son Haren will be born in the near future. If he appears on your territory, you old guys, don't take action, he is my lifeblood. Of course, if the younger generation fights and is seriously injured or killed, I will have no complaints. Don't worry, we won't take action against a junior. Although half of the 9 controllers had coveted the position of controller of the second continent and even used many despicable methods, it is really difficult for them to take action against the juniors now. However, once the fire of anger is burning, the result will be unpredictable. However, for Feng Yunzhu, their promise was enough. If someone really didn't care about face, he would make them pay the price even if he risked his life. In this case, I will take the first step, you can take your time. Remember, after 3 months, the high-grade innate treasure must be delivered, otherwise I will come to claim it in person. The 9 people looked at the direction Feng Yunzhu was leaving, feeling unable to calm down for a long time. As controllers, have they ever been threatened like this before, but they dare not take action easily. Fellow deist, does he really have the ability to break the cultivation level of the controller? The ancient world-honored one had always had doubts about Wu Shi's previous words, but now that Feng Yunzhu had left, he asked. Yes, I will never make a mistake. His cultivation has already reached the level of a controller, but for some reason, he has not made a breakthrough. Judging from his situation, either he is planning some earth-shattering event, or he may be taking the path of Demon Dao dual cultivation. What? Demon Dao dual cultivation. Thank you for watching. Continue exploring the fascinating world of Chinese novels with us. Hit that subscribe button on Chinese Novel Audiowave to stay updated with our latest stories. And never miss out on a great listen.